What's up, fellow vapors? This is Damien Vapes from Electrociggy, and today I wanted to do a little show and tell on the Smoktech Zmax. This is the newer model. It's the predecessor to the Vmax. I had my Vmax for a long time. I loved it. It had a lot of power. It kicked ass. You know, really did it right for me. Unfortunately, I broke my Vmax, so that's dead now. But luckily, this one just came out. I was really happy to hear when it came out, so I went out and got it as soon as it was available. I got mine from electronicsticks.com for 120 bucks. I think they have discount codes on there. They got stuff all in there all the time, so you should check the site out. But this is what it looks like in the box. This is the chrome unit. It comes with just the tube only. It doesn't come with any batteries or charger or atomizer or anything like that, but it looks nice there. Has the instructions on the inside. It's good to have the instructions for this thing because the display unit, to go through all the options, they're kind of confusing. So the instructions have them all laid out there for you as far as all the options are concerned and how to get there and what each option actually means. You know, it's a bunch of foreign numbers and letters if you first look at it. If you've had the Vmax, it's pretty much the same as the Vmax, except it has an extra option on there. So good thing to have instructions there. It's a single tube unit. It takes a 18650 size battery. The Zmax used to take two 18350s, but this one takes a solid 18650. If you want to put two 18350s in there, you can, but you have to get an extension cap, pretty much. This is the regular cap that it comes with, regular size, and it only fits the 18650 battery. You have to get a different one if you want to try to stack 18350 batteries in there, but really I feel that there's no need to, so that's my own opinion. But it looks pretty nice in there. It's pretty solid. They changed the button. It's a little sturdier than the last button on the Vmax. This one has a little bit more click to it. It's a solid click. You have to kind of push it down to make it work, which is really good for me. And there's the cap there. Alright, so you take your 18650 battery, put it in positive side first, and you put the cap on, and it's good to go. The LCD display is blue on this one as compared to the Vmax was red. When you put the battery in, it first shows the lowest setting, which is actually better. On the Zmax, it started off at 5 volts. When you put the battery in, this one starts at your lowest setting there, so that's cool. And it has a lot of different options. It has 7 to be exact. When you look on the screen, they're pretty confusing as far as what they really mean. So let me see if I can go through these options real quick and tell you what they're about. The first option, basically, in order to get to the options, you gotta click the button 3 times. And the first option is the voltage or wattage down or up. So you click it 3 times, and this first is up. When you click the button, it goes up in 0.1 increments on the voltage, and then when you're changing the wattage, it goes up in 0.5 increments. It goes all the way up to 6 volts, and goes all the way up to 15 watts. And when you get to 6 volts and you go up one more, it goes back around to 3. So that's cool. The second option is the voltage or wattage down. It's just the same as up. It goes in 0.1 increments on the voltage and 0.5 increments on the wattage. Once you get to 3, it comes back up to 6. Okay, and the third option is to turn the unit on or off. So the unit's on, it's off, it's on, it's off, it's on, it's off. We're going to turn it off real quick for a second. So when it's in the off mode and you hit the fire button, it only shows 3 lines, which means the unit still has battery power, but it's just off. So that's cool. We're going to turn this back on real quick. And the fourth option is the battery life, showing at 3.8 volts right there. Usually when the battery's full, it shows about 4.1 volts. When the battery's getting close to being dead, it's at 3.3, 3.2 volts. It automatically turns off, basically saying that the battery doesn't have enough charge in order to support the atomizer or whatever you have on top of it. So that's a cool little safety feature. But usually it's dead at about 3.3, 3.2 volts. The fifth option is the display. This is kind of confusing to me. But basically, if you want to display your ohms that you're producing out of your atomizer, or if you want to display the voltage that you have left in your battery, or if you want to display the power that's coming out of your unit. Yeah, those are pretty confusing there, but let's see if I can do... DO is your operating voltage, which I don't have anything on here yet. Let me put something on here. This is a Kanger M3 Clearo, operating at 4 volts right there. DR is the ohms of your cartomizer or atomizer. This is sitting at 2.5 volts, or 2.5 ohms, excuse me. So that's there. So you can set it to show the display of that when you're hitting the fire button. Or you can show it to display the battery life that you have left. And we have 3.8 volts left on the battery. I like to leave it here, that way I can always check to see how much life I have in my battery. It gives a really good vape, kicks ass. But that's option number 5. Option number 6 shows whether you want the display light on or off. That's on, off, on, off, on, off. We're going to turn it off for a second so that when you hit the fire button, the actual LCD display is off. You can turn it on and off, which is actually a cool option. Before, on the Vmax, it only had the option of turning the display off or on, was actually the light behind the button, which is kind of silly, I thought. But this, with it like that, is really cool because it saves battery life. If you're not really checking your mod all the time, not caring, you know, what kind of voltage you're kicking or what kind of battery life you have left, you just want to save battery, that's a cool little option there. You can actually turn it off, but still vape, which is pretty cool. So we're going to turn the display on real quick. Alright. And the 7th option is to change whether you want to use voltage or watts, which is really exciting. You can use watts now on this and you don't have to pay for Pravari or Darwin. Awesome. But anyway, we'll change that out real quick. And that's when it's in use on voltage, when it's on P for power, V for voltage, P for power, which is watts. We're going to switch it to watts real quick, and it actually will change the display also. Alright, we'll change the display so it shows the operating watts. And 6.5, 5.5, 4.5. It goes all the way down to 3 watts and it goes back up to 15. So you can use variable voltage or variable wattage. What's the difference between voltage and wattage? I don't know too much about it. I know that if you have certain atomizers with low resistance, then you should use low wattage, between 3.7 to maybe 4.1 volts. This is cool using wattage with this because, or low voltage, excuse me. But when you use wattage, it actually kind of regulates it for you no matter what the atomizer is that you put on there. So it's cool, you can actually use different types of atomizers without having to worry about changing your voltage or changing your wattage in order to accommodate for it. This is a Phoenix rebuildable atomizer. It hits nice. This is a Kanger M3 Clearomizer. That hits really nice also. You notice I don't have to change the wattage because it's working pretty well. This is a Bogue 801 Fusion cartomizer with an adapter on it. They all hit really nice because I'm using wattage instead of voltage. I don't have to sit there and change it to know that, I know that when I use this, I have to turn it up. When I have to turn the voltage up. When I know that I use my Kanger Clearo, I have to turn the voltage down. I know when I'm using the rebuildable, I have to adjust the voltage for every time I make a new coil. So using wattage works out really well. Another cool feature that they added to this is, as far as the connection is concerned, it's a 510 connection, but it has a really deep juice well. And as far as the circumference on the inside of there, they made it a little bit wider than on the Zmax. So you can actually take an Eagle style tank or anything that fits on an Ego, fits in there very nicely with no adapters or anything. I still haven't gotten a 510 to Ego connection yet, and now with the Zmax I don't have to. It works out pretty well. So a lot of different little improvements they made on this versus the Zmax is really cool. I enjoyed a lot. The button, they made it a lot stiffer. I wait tables, so I walk around with my mod in my pocket all the time, and it used to be with my Zmax, it would basically kill the battery because it's always firing in my pocket, and that kind of sucked. But now the button's a lot stiffer, and it's blue on the LCD. You can't go wrong with that. But enough talking. I'll do one last vape. And wrap this one up. Thank you guys for checking me out. My name is Damien Vapes from Electrociggy. I enjoy my Zmax. Thank you for watching. If you want to leave comments, please leave them in my blog because that's a better place to go. Anyway, thank you for watching, and